right, Nick, let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. There's a lot of really big time news swirling around this team. Who's going to be the next quarterback? Derek Carr, they've moved on from him. There's a lot of uncertainty around the team. But in this time of uncertainty at certain positions, we've gotten a little bit more certain at other positions on this team. And I think the Raiders fans will be very excited about the news.
Yeah, I agree, Miles. But before we get into that, Raider Nation, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. It's obviously the offseason, so it gives us a chance to take a step back and look at the all-time greats in all the NFL franchises. So I want to hear from you guys. Give me who you think is the quintessential Raider. I'm going to say Raider player because obviously coach would be Madden, owners Al Davis, right? So I'm going to throw those out of the loop because those aren't fair. Give me the quintessential Raider player of all time in the comment section below. All right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest out of Vegas?
All right, Nick. The news definitely isn't that Darren Waller got engaged to Aces superstar basketball player, but that is big news, so congratulations to him. But instead, the news is that in spite of all the accounts that he has been on the trade block, the cut block, whatever the case may be, the Raiders seem to be sticking with Darren Waller along with other players such as Chandler Jones. They're going to keep these core of really talented guys on this team, and I think that is a huge deal here, Nick. You look at a guy like Darren Waller, he's a really dynamic playmaker, and we've talked about this ad nauseum in a few other videos. When you have a very successful quarterback, you see these quarterbacks who take teams to Super Bowls and win. They always seem to have a really good superstar tight end on the roster as well. You think, Travis Kelce, you think Mark Andrews, there's a ton of great tight ends between every single superstar quarterback. And Darren Waller is one of those tight ends when he is healthy. And I think that he will be healthy this season. So I really like the decision by the Raiders to stick with these veterans and not to blow up everything. Because like we say, sometimes when one thing changes, people can go a little bit too far, but the Raiders are not going to blow everything up quite yet, and they seem to be sticking with their superstars.
Yeah, so when you talk about blowing things up and moving off players, there's really two situations where you want to do that. One is salary cap, right? You're like, hey, we're in a bad salary cap situation. We need to free up some cap space. We don't want to get rid of this player, but we just have to so we can make other moves. It's a bad contract for our current situation. The Raiders are not in that situation. They have $48 million plus of free cap space right now. That is ridiculously high. Obviously, moving off Derek Carr helps that. But they got plenty of cap space. They're not in a cap problem. And even if they were moving off Darren Waller, if they cut him, they would take they'd only save $3 million and they take on $9 million of dead money according to overthecap.com. So that's not even doing a whole lot for them anyway. And the other reason you move off a player, if he's past his prime, if you don't think he's very good anymore. And I don't think that's the issue with Waller. He's had injury problems, but when he's been on the field, he's a dynamic playmaker. He just hasn't had a chance to get in a rhythm in the new McDaniel scheme yet. I think he will do that over time, hopefully a full offseason. Because remember, Mice, he sat out a lot during training camp last offseason, a lot of preseason. He never really got into a rhythm. And I think going into this offseason, he'll have a chance to do that. So the two reasons to move off Waller are kind of negated. And I think the big thing we're going to see with the Raiders is obviously with Tom Brady falling through at this point, I think they're going young quarterback. I think they're probably going to go in the draft. A lot of them are thinking CJ Stroud. And we're going after a young quarterback on a rookie deal. You want to overspend a little bit at weapons to surround him with talent. And the Raiders can do that, right? We talked about the cap space. But if you move off Darren Waller, you move off some of these veterans, you don't bring in a guy like, or you move off Chandler Jones. They've been linked to Jalen Ramsey potentially as well. When you don't make those kind of moves, it's kind of a defeating purpose. If you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, you want to spend big on vets. If you have a veteran quarterback, you got to focus more on rookies. So you look at the Raiders, right? They moved off the veteran quarterback. Tom Brady didn't work out. It seems to be pointing towards a rookie quarterback now. And if that's the case, you got to stick with the vets. So from that perspective, I think this is a smart move by Ziegler and the Raiders front office here.
Yeah, Nick, and you mentioned, Raiders potentially linked to Jalen Ramsey. They are the odds favorites to get Ramsey if he does part ways with the Rams. That would be a really big upgrade for this team if they're able to pull that move off. And like you said, any quarterback, whether it's Jarrett Stidham or whether it's every single other quarterback that has been linked to this Raiders team this offseason so far, whoever comes in has a great cast. They have a fairly solid O-line. Young guy and Parham's been doing good. Both the tackles are very good. You got Waller. You got an elite running back in Josh Jacobs. Then you look at the receiving core. Devontae Adams, definitely probably best wide receiver in the NFL at this point in time. Mac Hollins, burner, really good guy there. And you got your shifty slot guy, good for your 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2s, and Hunter Renfrow. So this team setup looks really great. I'm glad they're sticking with Waller because this is smart football to keep these guys together and try to make the job easy for whoever you decide to stick with at the quarterback position.